Ladies and gentlemen, greetings. Ronald Kirkhope here, and goddamn. Well, thanks to the very kind promotion of Major Bunker and one of his friends. Oh god, my chair's creaking again. Looks like I've got some more attention more quickly than I was hoping, which is nothing but a good thing. So let's keep this train going until it crashes, right? So I'm just gonna do some talking today. Give a bit of a refresh on what I said in the first video, but elaborate a little more. I've just weighed in at 310 pounds last Sunday. Or was it Saturday? Either way, last weekend I weighed in at 310 pounds. I don't know if that's the highest I've ever weighed. But it's the highest I've got recorded. It's the highest I've ever weighed when I've had the bravery to step on the scales at any given size I was looking at. I may have weighed more. I genuinely do not know. But before a little running injury quite a few years ago, it was late 2017. See, this is how long I've let this get me down. I had a running injury in 2017 where I pulled one of my calves. At the time, I was running about 20 miles a week. And this allowed me to eat crazy amounts in terms of calories because I was burning all of it and then some. Like, I was eating like a freaking horse and still losing weight. When the injury happened, the appetite didn't go down, and I was feeling too sorry for myself to control it. So some of the weight went back on. But in the meantime, I did manage to sort my calves out, only to then, a year later, screw up one of my knees. While I was losing some of the weight I'd regained, my right knee the patella on my right knee began to do what's called maltracking. I don't fully understand it, but something to do with the patella not quite moving the right way when you bend your knee. Owing to the fact that somehow, somewhere, my technique had gotten worse in terms of simply bending down. And now I was causing my knee to bend inwards. This caused my patella to maltrack. It's a habit I'm still sort of having trouble breaking, but that did cause another drop in exercise almost completely, for that matter. And again, feeling sorry for myself, I turned to food like I always do. A couple years later, during the COVID, can I even say that word? You know, disease that made us all stay inside for like a year and a half. I was on furlough from work, but then got asked to come in and just help keep the place clean and keep the lights on, which meant I got a slight pay bonus for doing it. And during that period of time, for about 3 months while we were completely closed, I was able to afford to do a keto diet. And that was insanely effective. That got me back down to about 19 stone, keeping in mind the lowest I'd been on was like 16 stone, 12 pounds, as I say, 224, I believe. 19 stone, I can't remember the precise calculation for that, but I'll just pop that. No, actually, wait, no. 140 times 2, 280. So I would have been, what, 266 pounds at that point, probably? And then it got that once things went back to relatively normal, I couldn't, and this is on me, I didn't adapt. I couldn't afford to stay on the keto. I didn't think of ways to get around not being able to afford the super expensive alternatives to flour, like almond flour. I was cooking with almond flour nearly every day. It was freaking delicious. I was using erythritol in place of sugar and having to make all of my own cakes and treats because I couldn't use any store-bought ones, as they would have contained too many carbs. But unfortunately, the keto also had to come to a stop due to the fact that I couldn't afford it, the alternative ingredients, and doing it on just simply a diet of nuts and cheese wasn't really viable. If it comes to it, I might be able to get back into it at some point, but for the time being, I'm just back on calorie counting. Part of it was I was having trouble, like, God, how do I say this? I was having trouble thinking of another way to stay on keto in a way that was affordable and wasn't going to get old really, really fast. Like with keto, I was cooking 3 square meals a day from fresh, And while it was costing me a fortune, it was a fortune I could briefly afford. Now I was looking at going back to having to do it on my usual budget, which was a little lower than, what the pay bonus was giving me. And like a freaking idiot, I quit. I just went back on a normal diet. And what was the first thing I did? What was the first thing I did? I binged on chips. I binged on carb-heavy food that I hadn't been able to eat in 3 or 4 months. And, surprise, surprise, put the weight back on. For some reason, I'm just done with that. If I have a reason not to keep a diet up, I should just stop. Food is and has always been a vice of mine. I don't think that's ever going to change. But I want to get, at the very least, the calorie usage under control. I want to get back in that state where I can move as much as I was doing 5 months ago. But as seen from yesterday's video where I showed you a brief clip of footage on the cross trainer, because I don't really like filming at the gym because it's, other people's privacy's got to be considered. I do plan on going, but obviously I won't be able to do very much. Like, I basically just got on the elliptical, and I only worked until I started to actually feel pain in my knee again, and then went, okay, that's enough for today. But I did something. I'm moving weight. I'm burning calories. I'm rebuilding cardio. As it is, I have to lose weight in the kitchen. So if food is going to be my vice, I need to keep it fresh, keep healthy options fresh, keep the relatively low calorie, high fiber crap, whatever. You get the point. Because eating at a calorie deficit is something I have done in the past. And the part of the problem was I kept eating the same few foods over and over. And then it didn't really occur to me to keep broadening those horizons, finding other things that kept me within a low calorie count without me getting bored of them. But thanks to doing the keto, I found a new passion for cooking food, and then as soon as I went back to work, I just dropped it. What excuse do I have for that? That was dumb. Like, why did I do that? Quick interjection from future Kirkhope, by the way. I should have mentioned I work shifts. This will explain the inconsistent upload schedule and does have something to do with how often I'm able to cook. Nevertheless, I have leaned into that excuse way too hard. Anyway, back to it. And more to the point, I don't miss having it. I never had it in the first place. But part of the reason I've actually picked the footage for the game of this particular game. Yeah, Ubisoft did some bad things, and I bought Ghost Recon Breakpoint when it was on sale at a time when a bit of fake news had made me accidentally believe that some of the people involved had been brought to justice when actually they hadn't. God damn it. Nevertheless, the game's in my library now and I'm stuck with it. I do enjoy it. Metal Gear is a dead franchise, but watching this game, simply watching Nomad, whatever avatar you choose to play as, I won't go into it right now, but watching him run around like this on this kind of terrain makes me kind of think, hey, yeah, I want that back. I'm going to get it back. Like, sure, you've heard me stutter over my mistakes and my missteps today. You've heard me go blank when I'm trying to avoid just giving an excuse and simply admit that I fucked up. Simply admitting that I fucked up is not good enough, though. It doesn't change the fact that I did, and it doesn't change the fact that I can again. At the end of the day, obviously, one should be the change wants to see in the world. And we'll just have to see if I can pull it off. I want to. I really, really want to do it. And as much as it's nice to have a channel full of people, with people watching saying, hey, you can do it, it doesn't change the fact that that still has to come from me. I am so grateful for the support of these sort of new people watching. But just keep in mind, as important as your support is going to be, it won't mean anything unless I take that action. And so that is what I hope I can give to you. What this will mean is no more pity parties if there are any setbacks. I will turn to people for help. The moment I get hurt, I will turn around and say, okay, I will ask someone for a different exercise to do. The moment I don't know, have financial difficulties, I will turn to someone and say, all right, now how do I calorie count or do a weird specialized diet on a budget? I will ask for help rather than sinking into myself. Anyway, it looks like I'm now reaching the point in the footage where the video actually stutters and I have to stop recording because my PC is about 7 years old. So we're going to call it there. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And peace.